Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is time for another edition of the CJ Howard Show. Welcome back, everybody. I'm glad to be back. After our last show we had in April, we had a blockbuster ending. Now we're off to season number 2, episode number 1 of season number 2. Hopefully, you can leave your comments to us tonight. Hopefully we can get your phone calls in. We're going to try to take some phone calls if we can here on the CJ Harris Show. I'm glad to be back. Glad hopefully you guys are back with me. I've been really posting this hard the last week and a half. It's here. Football's here. Last night, night before last, went and watched Hazard and Pineville scrimmage. Really good scrimmage. I was very impressed. We're going to talk with Coach Howard about that at 8:30. We got some good guests tonight. With us going to be at 8:10, going to be Kevin Whitman, the PCC girls soccer coach. We're going to talk with him about soccer and some other things going on. Coach Howard is going to join me at 8:30. Talk about his scrimmage and the scrimmage coming up against Corbin. Him and Corbin and Henry Clay's all going to get together over there on Friday night. Post to have Julian Tackett with us at 9 o'clock. The commissioner, I got a lot of questions for him. We want to talk about the past. We want to talk about the future. And we want to see where the KHSAA is going to be going in the near future. And got Camille coming with us at 9:30. She's been a very busy bee. She has been extremely busy putting everything together for her pigskin previews, which will air the 18th at 7 o'clock. That's the Wednesday night there as well. I was supposed to have Wiston Lee as my co-host. Apparently, Wiston, something's happened to him. I have not heard from him either. So if Wiston pops in during the show, we'll get him in here. Things going on. The reason why that I kept the show on Sunday nights is because moving around during the week, a lot of people don't have the time. More of them have time on Sunday. So we want to get that out of the way. If you want to call us, the phone number, well, I had it scrolling across the bottom of the page, but the phone number is 1346 314-0906. Let me go ahead and scroll it across the bottom of the page so everybody can, if you want to give us a call. Leave your comments if you want to. Want to hear from you. Give me a phone call. I like to hear from you. It's sad it's been a busy time. Football, soccer, other volleyball. We got all kinds of sports going on. Most of your sports for the fall are outside. So I don't think attendance nor hold on a minute. We got a phone call. Let's go ahead and take this phone call and see who we got. I believe this is Ryan Farmer. Go ahead, caller. You're on the CJ Howard Show. We are ready, Mr. Farmer. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? Nope. Of course, me and the wife went to a good church service this morning. It was homecoming at Silicon Valley there. So we had a great time there. Heard some great music and some good preaching. What's on your mind tonight, Ryan? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. They're a good team. I mean, they're a good team, Ryan. I mean, they still got Jalen. They had a couple of kids stay back because of the rule, the senior rule. They can stay back. They had another year eligibility. I think the biggest thing here is that Breathitt County is getting a lot of hype off their season last year. They didn't end the year very well. Beechwood was a great football team. We saw that they won the 2A state title. But Breathitt County, if they're even going to get in the ballpark with any of those teams, they got to get much better. Now this district is improving. Middlesboro's getting better every year. Leslie County, you don't know from year to year what they're going to pop in with. Knott County's not been. I mean, you can't overlook anybody in this district. No, we'll no, and I think that's what you look at these other districts. I'm watching Pineville play Friday night, Ryan, and I was very impressed with Pineville. That's a team in that district over there with Williamsburg and Linkamp and Harlan. I was very impressed with Coach Chappell's team, and he's got some players out there. He had about 40 players out there playing. That was impressive. So, but you talk about teams right now in districts, Ryan. These teams that are playing non-district games have got to prove themselves. If they can prove themselves in the non-district, then they're going to be strong in district play. I like Letcher. I like Letcher. Letcher's really athletic, Ryan. They're all spots on the field. One thing I want to say about Letcher, I want to congratulate our friend Matus Blair being the new athletic director at Letcher Central. But Letcher, I think Perry Central's not that bad. I think Perry Central. We're going to find out more about them on Friday night, Ryan, as me and you going to check out the Eagles and the Commodores there at Commodore Field for scrimmage. So that should be something good to look at. But I tell you, the dark horse is Clay County. If Clay County can stay healthy, they've got all the weapons to be a dangerous team. Let me save that for my for the sports report. But I think there's about 5 teams out there that could surprise anybody on given Friday night. I think the debate in top tens in the mountains, and me and Camille had this discussion off the air. We know 9 of the 10 teams, but who's that 10th team? Is it Breathitt? Is it Weems? Is it Breathitt? Is it North Laurel? Is it Letcher? Is it Clay? Who is that team? And I don't know WYMT's top 10. We won't know that until the 18th. Mine won't be revealed until I have my preview show a week from Wednesday. But I just see a lot of parity this year. And one thing I saw Friday night, Ryan, if I see this all year, football is going to be a much different sport than it was last year. I saw them having a lot of fun. They were having fun. They were not. It wasn't about plays and you did well. They were having fun, and I thought that was a big key there because last year was fun. We crowned 6 state champions, but it wasn't fun. Well, and I think that, but for the KHSAA, it was a big hit because they got everything in. They were able to crown every champion, and hopefully, Mr. Tackett will join me later. We could talk about that. But I think it was a big time for the KHSAA. Well, them 3 is always going to be on your list of the top teams. Now, I think Pikeville might have learned a lesson after last year when they played Hazard in the district finals. Do not underestimate anybody. A new team that's hit that district is Sayre, and I'm not Sayre. Yes, Sayre. I was right. Chad Pennington's son is one of the top quarterbacks in the high school ranks. He's going to Marshall, but Pikeville and Belfry and Johnson Central. You never are ever going to turn around and say, it's that going to be, is that going to be your team? So, I think that's the biggest picture. Well, for those 3 teams, it has been for about a long, long time. So I think that's just something they got to work on. Other teams need to work on it. So, well, Ryan, I will see you Friday. I will get with you. Yep, we'll get some more information to you. I'll tell you what time I'm going to pick you up, everything. We'll go watch a good scrimmage. All right. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate your phone call. Ryan Farmer from Leslie County. Check us out. want to thank Adam. Adam was telling me that he could not hear the caller, so I'm gonna have to maybe turn up I think I didn't turn up that button loud enough where people could hear it. So, but we get another call, we'll take care of that. Again, my guest tonight supposed to be Kevin Whitman, the soccer coach at PCC. Dan Howard, the head football coach at Hazard. Mr. Julian Tackett, commissioner of the KHSAA, and Camille Gear should join me at 9:30. Camille's been a busy woman. She's been getting teams left and right and everything. Well, but that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Phone number for the show is 1-346-314-0906. Posted Winston Lee is my co-host. Something has come up. I do not know what it is. I have not heard from him. I know Sunday's a tough time for a lot of people. We want to know what your thoughts are. Leave your comments. I want to hear from you. Haven't talked to some of you in a long time. Love to hear you what you're thinking. It's been a long summer. Actually, it's been a quick summer if you want to look at it. We turned around and I just ended the season in April, and I turned back around and it's already here. And that's what's the most exciting thing about this. When we're doing this show is we're having a lot of fun and it already being here. We got one more week of scrimmage games. That is this week. And then the following week on the 20th, got a lot of good big games. And I'm going to have my pick show on the 18th at 7:30 after the WYMT reveals their top 10. I will come on the air with my pick show for the first one of the year for football for the CJ High School Sports Report. Still going to do that show. You guys love it when I pick those games, and I love doing that. So it's a lot of fun. We got a lot of people commenting on some teams. Roddy Cooch wants to know what are some of my top teams in the there. So I think everybody's looking at Belfry, Johnson Central, and everybody. But I think the biggest picture is, Winsburg's got a really nice team. Coach Whitman, he's trying to get on right now. I have to tell him he'll have to use Safari in his computer, and it will allow him to go in there for the first time. That he can make those changes after that. So, Coach Whitman, if you're hearing me, let me say use Safari, and you shouldn't have that problem. So, Safari, and should not have that problem. Hopefully, we'll get him on. A lot of people learn the first time around when you do these interviews with these coaches or people, anybody we do an interview with, if they're using the StreamYard, when I send you the invitation, you have to use Safari to get in, and then you can not tamper with it, but you can use it other ways to get in there easier the next time. So, but phone number is 1-346-314-0906. Again, Wiston was supposed to have been my co-host. He has not made it, so we'll go right on. Rodney, you're very welcome. To finish up your comment on some of the top precinct teams, we talked about Belfry. We talked about Johnson Central. Winsburg's a really nice team. Somerset, we're going to see where they're going to be now. So they're going to turn around with a lot of young kids. But there's some teams right there we're keeping our eyes on. Mark wants me to update script. Mark, as far as I know Corbin's got the scrimmage Friday with Henry Clay and Hazard. I know Wesley County and Perry Central scrimmaging. As far as anybody else, I do not know. But if anybody out there knows of scrimmages, please let me know. And I would like to get that on the air as well. We'll let everybody know that. Please leave me your comments or give me a call. We'll talk. Hopefully we'll talk. Hopefully you can hear me. I want to thank Adam again because here's my ears there tell me that you cannot hear the caller. I can hear the caller. The people on Facebook probably could, but not anybody else out there. So hopefully we'll get Coach Whitman on there in a few minutes. I know He's trying to use it. And this is hard. I mean, if you don't use the system very much, it takes a long time to use it. Adam has just told me that Middlesbrough is going to be scrimmaging. He doesn't know who it yet it's going to be, and they're going to call the game. So that'd be fun. Scrimmage game there. Middlesbrough got a nice team. I want to congratulate my good friend Adam Webb. He's going to be the new voice of the Yellow Jackets this year, football. Good man. Wildcat Sports Talk. That's right there where you can find Adam. Him and Tim Branstinger. They have been busy too. They were down at not Commonwealth Stadium, but Kroger Field, getting some interviews on Media Day. Their football. So, but Adam's the new voice of the Yellow Jacket football team, and congratulations to him. And he's gonna have a big year coming up. Got a lot of Yellow Jacket team. It's vastly improved. Coach French has got a nice team. I'm putting them high. I'm ranking them high because I think they're right there among some of the top teams. So, but good luck to him as well as we move throughout the season. Wait for your phone call 1-346-314-0906. Wait for Coach Whitman. I know he's probably struggling with getting on. I know it's hard the first time around. If you're watching me on Facebook or you're watching me on YouTube, please leave me comments. I also want to remind everybody too, if you're over on YouTube, please leave me a subscribe. Hit that bell. Let me know that you subscribe. We can get 1,000 subscribers. I can do all the live stuff I want to do over there. So go over and do that. Hit that bell and give me some subscriptions, as I would like to see that. We're going to hear from Coach Howard at 8:30, Mr. Tackett at 9, and Camille at 9:30. Winston, do not know what's happened to him tonight. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully nothing happened to him. It's busy time of the year coming up now. You got a lot of going on. Football scrimmages, mowing grass, this and that. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about the season coming up. We're 1 week. The 20th is the opener. We got a lot of good games. Now I haven't really looked at all of them. But there's some games that's really going to take some shape early. We got a lot of good teams playing. A lot of the teams playing on that Friday night. Some are playing Saturday. I know Williamsburg and the Commodores Falls Pigskin Classic is going to happen on 21st at Corbin. I know Williamsburg is playing in the first game. I don't know who Corbin's playing. Does anybody know who's Corbin's playing in the Pigskin Classic? Let me know. I plan to go. Be right there for watch both games. Should be a lot of fun. Get the phone number 1-346-314-0906. I do apologize for. I know Wiston would have been here if he could. Probably had something going on. He couldn't get to me at last moment. And Coach Whitman, I apologize to you. I should have walked you through this. I could have helped you there. But that was my fault. If we don't get you on tonight, we'll get you on to Wednesday. Next week we'll get you on and let you do your interview. Hopefully you might get through before the show ends, and we'll do your interview anytime this show. Anytime I'm still on. Should be a lot of fun. Waiting for Dan Howard at 8:30. As I said, I went and watched Hazard and Pineville scrimmage Friday night. It was a good little scrimmage. I was impressed with Pineville. The Bulldogs, they impressed me. I told Dan, I thought there's a lot of problems. With Hazard, it's one thing. It's health. If they stay healthy, they're going to play with anybody they want to play with. A Pikeville, a Paintsville, a Somerset, anybody. But now the quarterback, the Helper kid, he's the real deal, folks. He was very good Friday night. Now, his first couple of passes, you expect the freshman to be a little nervous, and he was. But he really came in there strong in the late in the game. Some of the kids, Tyson Turner was really, you could tell he's healthy. last year he spent a lot of the time injured, and we're going to talk with Coach Howard about that because the big thing was Coach Howard. He knew when Tyson played, Hazard was really good, and keeping him on the field is very important. There were some other kids out there that was hurt too, but you got to keep them on the field. So we'll talk with Coach Howard about that. But Pineville, as I said, Coach Chappell had a nice team. Quarterback, athletic, moves pocket well. Didn't have a lot of time, but I think they really worked on when you're scrimmaging, you're not going to do a lot of the stuff you would do in a practice. They went full field the whole scrimmage, but they went an hour of no chains, and then the rest they done some chains. They done the JV there at the end. Hazard got some really good JV players. I was impressed with those kids too. I'll be interested to see how Hazard does Friday night against Corbin and Henry Clay. Henry Clay's coming off a tough 2-win season. They want to bounce back. I think Corbin is the best team in the mountains. Johnson Central and Corbin, I think, are the two best teams in this mountains. Corbin's got everything you need to win a state title. They've got depth. They've got starters. They've got 11 on 11. Coach Greer knows offensively. He's probably got the best offense in the mountains. They're going to score 30, 40 points a game, maybe more than that. Mark Crawford would he could answer that question more than I could. But, Coach Greer knows that his offense from any – I mean, they ain't going to hurt you just in the running game. They're going to hurt you in the passing game. And the depth they've got is unbelievable. I mean, if one goes down, they got another thing put in the spot. So that'll be a good scrimmage. And that'll be a good workout for both teams because, you look at both these teams, Corbin and Henry Clay. I'll be interested to see how they play because it'll be an interesting scrimmage. Well, let's talk about a few other items around here going on, not even related to football, but let's talk about the name, image, and likeness in college sports. What do you think about that? Leave me a comment. Do I like it? Nah, I don't know. I always believed if you can get a 4-year scholarship, that was good. But I guess if you can get a little extra money, that's good to help you out. Because college is expensive. Books and pencils and computers and printers and everything you have to have. And there's a lot of rules to this likeness thing that you have to follow. I would like to have Brian Malum on here, and he can really break it down for us. So we're going to do that too. Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC probably in 2025, could be sooner. They have been already put in. Now it's been 11-0 by all the teams. This is going to bring a lot of controversy later, not now, because is SEC. Are they building the super conference? Are they going to allow anybody else in? I know I've heard rumors of the Pac-10 and Pac-12 wanting to join. Not them. Together they join. But then I don't think that would be logic because I don't think you would like to see West Virginia travel all the way to Oregon for a volleyball game because this would be an all sports. So that'd be a long trip for them. So we'll look into that more as we go along. The amount of coaching changes this year, football, basketball has been amazing. Left and right, we've seen them come and go. We're going to talk about some of the football coaching changes here tonight and all through the next couple of 2 or 3 weeks. But it's been amazing how many changes we had. And we've got a lot of new football coaches. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, too. We crowned all our champions. It was a lot of I tell you what, it was a good, fun season. I said for the KHSAA, they liked it a lot more. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let put Coach Howard in here. Let's see if we can get him in here. Let's see. Let's see if we can get him in here. We're going to turn it down a little bit there. Let's see. Let's add him to the stream. There he is. Well, he'll pop up in a minute, I hope. There he is. Looks like he's outside. Good evening, Coach Howard. Welcome to the CJ Howard Show.
Good evening, CJ. Thanks for having me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's good. It is good to have you. How are things going?
Well, good. Clay, my son's actually in the pool, so I'm sitting out here with him. So.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, pool on a good hot day, 94 degrees today. We was talking about your team a little bit there. We talked about your scrimmage there Friday night. What'd you think about it?
We got some good work in. Pineville is going to be a good football team this year. Coach Chappell, we knew they'd be well coached. He does a good job. They had some good athletes, and it was a good workout for us. And just I think both of the teams kind of saw what they needed to work on, and just we got to start back tomorrow on the stuff we need to fix for this Friday, which we got another big one coming up this Friday with Corbin and Henry Clay. Both them teams will probably roll out about 90 kids. We'll have our 28 or 30, and we'll bring ours over there, and we'll compete, and we'll run to the football, and we'll have some fun, and we'll be as physical as hopefully the most physical team over there.
I think it's going to be a good thing for you because it'll help your team down the road because scrimmage good teams makes you better down the season.
Yeah, it does, and that's why we play the schedule. We play also, the Somersets, and we play the Pikeville's and Hardin County and Middlesboro and teams like that because we want to get better, and hopefully we can start out better than we did last year. We started out 0-5, but I felt like we got better every week, and that's what we want to do this week. We don't want to start out 0-5 or this year. We don't want to start out 0-5, but I felt like we got better as the year went on, and that's what we want to do right now.
Let's go back to your scrimmage a little bit from the other night. I want to go over a couple things. Tyson Turner was very impressive. I feel like if you keep him healthy, he can make a lot of stuff happen on the field.
Yeah, Tyson's a hard worker, and last year, most people don't know, but he played probably 3/4 of the season injured. He had a big game against Somerset early, and that's when he got hurt. And after that, he just kind of wasn't the same all year. That ankle bothered him, and it even bothered him in basketball season, I think, as everybody saw. He just never really got healthy, and in Class A football, if you have a couple of injuries, it really affects your team. And he's one of those guys we're going to need this year, and there's several guys we're going to need throughout the year. And we just got to stay healthy, and he's put a lot of time in the weight room. I think you've seen that, and he's been working hard on his body, and we need him for the whole year.
You had some other kids. I told you I didn't know their numbers, but their names, but I just numbers. Your quarterback. Oh man, he's a freshman, but he's going to be a dandy. He made a lot of good decisions. I thought being in his first game. I thought he's got good poise back there. He's got an awesome arm. Talk about him a little bit.
He does. He doesn't look like a freshman, especially with he's probably 6'2" and 180 pounds, I'm guessing. But he's a big kid for a freshman, and he works hard in practice, and it's tough to throw a freshman in there at quarterback, especially on varsity. But he's got several guys he can throw it to, and our linemen up front, we've got 3 seniors and a couple of juniors and maybe a sophomore there that's going to be playing. And it's good to have those older guys to kind of show him the way, and as long as he gets it close to our receivers and our running backs, I think we'll be fine.
Of course, everybody looks at Max Johnson because Max is the man. You didn't do a whole lot with him in the scrimmage, but I guess it's because you didn't want to get him hurt and stuff. But you had a lot of others step up. Talk about some others that made some strides in the scrimmage.
In the scrimmage, you want to see what you got, and we kind of know what Max can do. As long as like our other linemen we've had that came back from last year, we know what they can do. So we had a few other kids step in there. Bayless Gayhart played really well the other night. I feel like our defense played well. Our secondary is the 4 guys we had last year. We've got 9-10 guys back on defense, and Day Strode, he really played well the other night. He's going to be one of our defensive ends. He's going to be tough for people to block. And Ryan Dean at middle linebacker, and Cameron Cottle, and then Zane Deaton, the other outside linebacker, and then Hank Pelfrey. then Kyle Barnett, our other end. We've got several guys we can bring in and that can play. And when you can play a lot of kids, especially in Class A, it helps. Out of the 28 kids we got, there's a lot of them, probably 95% of them going to see the field in varsity, and that's what we got to have. We got to have a lot of kids that can play.
Are you hoping to get some more kids out?
Yeah, we'd like to get some more freshmen. There's several freshmen in the school that we want to get out, and I've been down there talking to last week, and we need to get them out. And but our middle school bunch, I want to talk about them a little bit. They had a scrimmage yesterday at Betsy Lane, and the future's bright. And I think we got 14 eighth graders that'll be coming up next year, and we need all of them to play. And I've talked to them, and Coach Fletcher does a great job down there, and he's got several guys helping him with that young bunch. And we've got, like I said, 14 eighth graders that's going to come up next year, and there's several of those that could contribute next year. And a big group of seventh graders and sixth graders, and the future's bright if we can keep them working. And I feel like that bunch they're having to kick out of the weight room and off the field because all they want to do is work. And you see them on Facebook all the time, and they just love football. And that's just the Hazard tradition. Football is a big thing around here, and we got a lot of support from the community, and it's fun coaching here because there's a lot of tradition, and it was here way before I got here, and it'll be here after I'm gone.
Is your kids okay? Are they feeding off the winning the district last year, or have they moved on past that and move on to bigger fish?
Well, I mean, that was a big win, for our program, just because, somebody beats you 43-7 or 43-6, whatever the score was the first time. It embarrasses you a little bit. And, thing about our kids, they came back and they continued to work and they didn't quit. We had no kids quit after that game. And then they came in the weight room the Monday and got back to work. And that's just continued through the winter. And after the Paintsville game, we was a little outmatched, and we knew that. And, I've told them several times, and the assistant coaches I've got has told them several times, you're only as good as the last game you play. And that game, we ran into a buzzsaw and a good Paintsville team, and they've worked hard, and they just want to get back on the field and play. These boys just work their butts off every day, and it's fun to go to practice when you have a bunch of kids that do that.
Talk about Sayer being in your district. That's going to be a lot of fun to play them.
It is. Coach Benton, obviously a guy played in the NFL for as long as he did. His son's a quarterback and already committed to Marshall. That's going to be a tough game. We've already got a tough district with Pikeville there. And I think Jenkins eventually be back. And Phelps last year, people don't realize how good Phelps was last year. We played him twice and barely survived the first time. The second time we played a lot better, but still they had a heck of a team. The Francis kid was probably one of the best players in our district. And he had a couple other kids that were really nice. But just adding up team and, having to travel down there to Sayer and Coach Bennington, like I said, his son's a quarterback and is a heck of a player, and they got athletes, and that'll be a tough game. We can't worry about Pikeville. We don't play them till after Sayer. So, we've got a long way before that. And like I told our kids the other night, we just got to worry about ourselves and getting ourselves better. And then when those games come up, we'll prepare for them.
Well, Coach, I'm going to let you go. I know you're enjoying the pool. Might holler at you next week. We might want you to come back and talk about the what happened at Corbin and lead up to your opener against Middlesboro.
Yeah, well, I just appreciate Coach Greer letting us come over. He, I think we're going to do a rotation, hopefully a 3-year rotation. Maybe next year they'll come to our place and Henry Clay will, and the following year we'll go to Lexington. Is the plan, so hopefully that'll work out, and just hopefully we can get some work in and get better and everybody stay healthy. That's the main thing. We had a couple kids banged up this week, and hopefully they'll be ready by tomorrow or by Friday. But, it's football, and kids get hurt and you hate it. That's awful, and it's just part of the game, and you try to be in shape, and we try to be as strong as we can be so we can prevent those injuries, but they happen.
Well, Coach, good luck to you in your scrimmage on Friday, and we'll probably be hollering at you next week again, okay?
All right, appreciate you having me.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Coach Dan of the Bulldogs coming in just a little bit early. He's out enjoying the pool. So we're going to go ahead and bring Coach Whitman in here. Perry Central Lady Commodore soccer coach and well-known throughout Perry County. Legend to me because he's been around a long, long time. Coach, it's good to have you with us on the CJ Howard Show. Can you hear me? Okay, he's a little low. Let's see if we can't find somewhere to turn him up. Let's see. Can you hear me, Coach? Check one, check one. Coach Whitman, can you hear me? Shake with your hand if you can hear me. No, he cannot hear me. So we'll have to play with a couple of buttons here. Let's see. Take him out of the stream and put him back. That might help there. All right, add him to the stream. We're not having a good volume tonight. I apologize for that. Coach Whitman, can you hear me? I can barely hear him. Let's see. Can you hear me, Coach? Coach, he can hear me, but I cannot hear him. Coach, I cannot hear you. Can you maybe turn your volume up on your computer or what your device you're on? He can't hear me, but I cannot hear him. Check one. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Well, of course, Whitman's having a hard time here. He can hear me, but I can't hear him. Let's see. Well, Coach, I'm sorry. If you can hear me, turn your volume up on your computer. Let's see. I'm sorry, folks. We're trying to get the volume situated here. It's been a little when we're talking to the other person. So let me see if I can get that worked on. Let's see. Can you hear me, Coach Whitman? Can you hear me, Coach Whitman? Can you hear me, Coach Whitman? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Coach? Let me know if you can. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? He can hear me, but I cannot hear him. And I don't know. I pushed all the buttons I can push. Let's see. Let me go to my settings a moment. There might be something I can do over here. Coach, why don't you just call me on the phone? Call me on the phone. See if we can't get Coach Whitman to call me. We'll just do it that way. Hopefully he can call us. Phone number is 1-346-314-0906. Here, I do apologize. It's not nobody's fault. This was the first show. You're going to have these malfunction problems. So we're going to see if he can call us. And if he can, we'll try to get him on the phone. Phone number is 1-346-314-0906. Let's see. If he's calling, he should be called any time. Okay. Well, let me try. Let's see. I think I've got his phone number. Let me try to call him. That might work. Let's see. No, I thought I had his contacts. Okay, let's see. There. Let's see if we can't call him. Let's see. 1606 live TV. This is what you get, folks. we're going to try to call Coach Whitman. I don't want to give up on him. I want to try to get him on here. So see if we can't try to call him. Coach Whitman, are you with us? This is CJ Howard. Hey, Coach, how you doing? I'm so sorry about the computer. I was trying to. I was asking you, could you hear me? But I couldn't hear you. Probably what it was is you probably had to turn your computer up, and that's why we probably couldn't hear you. Yeah, well, I should have walked you through it, and that was my fault. And I will. The next time I put you on, I'll call you and walk you through it and help you out because I should have done that. That was my fault, and we got you on here anyway, Coach. I'm glad to have you on here. When you called me when you texted me last year about talk about some soccer, I was pumped about that because a lot of people don't know about programs here in the mountains. Let's talk a little bit about how it goes, how the mountain teams are divided up, and how it all goes. You know, I've seen a couple of soccer matches, and they're pretty interesting. Uh, especially the girls, and that's what you're the girls coach at PCC. They can get a little rough, can't they? You've been doing this. I was going to say that you've been doing this a long time, Coach. And tell me tell me some of your stars that we don't know about that we need to be watching in soccer. Uh, your boys program is pretty strong too there at PCC. I know both of you are competing every year for district and region. Uh, People don't really pay attention to soccer, and they should. Tell them some reasons why that they should pay more attention to soccer.
I've equated to, like my basketball background, to possess the ball and not turn it over. And that's what people understand about soccer. It's just not trying to kick it and get it down the field, but possessing, looking through, trying to.
Uh, talk about your schedule a little bit. I know you got a tough schedule. Who do you open up with, and what are some games we need to be paying attention to?
Well, we open up Monday or Tuesday, coming Tuesday with Middlesbrough. And some of the top teams I've got on the schedule, like Corbin, like Preston, Garner, like Laurel. And some people question why I play those. You got to play strong teams to get there. And I always try to load my schedule up with strong teams.
Do you guys play double headers in soccer, or do you just play single games?
We play double hitters as much as we can. It depends on if Coach pressure to get somebody to stay on the same page that we're playing someone. A lot of times, hopefully, it'll be the same school, before you throw, but if not, you'll get somebody else to come in. And we try to play as many double hitters as we can.
I was one of you. You mentioned Leslie County had a soccer team. I wish they would. I know they got some very athletic girls and boys up there that are not playing football that would be really good at soccer. And I know there's a chance that one of these days they probably will end up getting a soccer team. I hope they would, because I know they need another fall sport. I know volleyball's been strong at Leslie County. Volleyball, been pretty strong at your plate up at PCC too. But when you're not, tell people what's enticing them to come watch soccer on a nightly basis.
Possible with our it doesn't when it really and that's go out. Winning always takes care of things.
Well, Coach, one thing I can't let you get off here without talking just a little basketball with you. I've known you for a long time, and you are a good friend of mine, and the success you had as an assistant coach, and even when you was head coach at Prairie Central, was off the charts. But do you miss basketball? Coach, are you still there? Okay, I think I've lost Coach. So my last question was he missed basketball. Hopefully he can see me. I did get an update on Wiston. He told me, yes, and he shook his head. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. We can't get you back on. We will do it again, and I will call you, and I will make sure that we get you correctly hooked up, and I'll do that. I'll bring you back here in a couple of weeks, okay? Okay. I think he heard me. But I'll call him tomorrow, and I'll explain to him. Yeah, he heard me. Coach Whitman's a good man. He's a good guy. He's a busy man, too. But I was talking about Wiston just a moment ago. He just texted me and told me that his internet had been down, and he's got it back up working again now. Hopefully he might come on. So hopefully we might have Wiston on. I do want to remind all my guests, too. When I have you on computer, you can hang around and watch. That's your prerogative. But if you don't want to, you can always exit out. I know sometimes people forget to do that, or they don't know how, excuse me. But I just remind everybody, if you want to hang around a bit, watch, you can. But if you rather not, you can just exit out, and it'll go out. So we're going to try to get Winston in here right now. See what he's into. See if he can hear me. I know I'm going to try to work with Coach Whitman's problems and help him out.
Can you hear me?
See if we can get Winston in here. And Coach Whitman, I will call him. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
That's awesome.
Talk about our internet problems today. I guess this has not been your day.
It has not been my day. I have been like, my Wi-Fi has been in and out all day, and I finally got the mind to unplug it and just leave it for a while. And somehow, finally, I think it's working now.
You do not know how many times in my lifetime I have done that.
Well,
I have unplugged for 2 hours, and it clear it all out, and then it come back and work good. So
that's essentially like what's happened with me today. But anyway, forgive me, I'm late. I'll have to make it up to you. I'm late.
I'll definitely let you make it up.
Well,
no, you didn't miss anybody. You actually Coach Whitman. I done the best I could getting him on here. I didn't help him out enough to show him how to use StreamYard. and then Coach
Right.
Howard was in the pool. So they were just short interviews. So hope I'm gonna bring both of them back because it's been a rough night.
Well, that's okay.
With
Listen, it's the first show
when you're
of the new season. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk with you a little bit. I know I was not very happy back in March. After we had talked with you, unfortunately, I know Letcher decided to go another direction, and I know the man you are. You was okay with that.
Yeah.
Because God has better opportunities out there for you.
Yep.
But then you took the track team and almost won the state medals.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity opened up for you that I think was, I think in the long run, is going to be a good opportunity for you. Talk a little bit about your wild spring and summer.
Yeah, just crazy. And I appreciate your kind words always, CJ. And your support. Your support of all high school athletics, but and your support of mountain sports in general, but just your support to me has been everything. And it's helped me probably more than you know, because as you can imagine, when this word came down in April, it affected me. And I'm not gonna hold back about it. I've struggled. I struggled for a while with it, as any man would. So I admit to that. I struggled with it and I made peace with it in my mind, and decided that I would just try to land on my feet and do something and keep working with kids. My objective in this life is to work with kids and young people, especially in the form of coaching. So, the good Lord put it on my heart. I could have stayed and done the track and cross thing at Letcher Central and teach social studies that I'm so happy with, and I appreciate Letcher Central and really I love the people there, and a lot of those people are really great to me. At the end of the day, I've just come to terms with the fact, I guess, maybe I lost the wrong game. I'm not sure, but it is what it is, and I'm going to continue. God had other plans, and so I'm fortunate enough and blessed enough to get this opportunity with Jenkins, and they have a new superintendent, Mr. Damian Johnson, who's trying to do really positive things there. And so that just immediately attracted me. Plus, it's close to home. I'm still getting to work with really good local Letcher County kids, and so for me, it was a no-brainer. When they called me up and I talked to them and we talked and everything seemed to just really be meant to be. And so I'm extremely happy. We've had great numbers in workouts. I've got a great group of kids that are just absolutely laying it out there. They're hanging on every word, man. They are just putting their heart out there, and it's August. So I can't wait until October, and I can't wait to get all of our guys out there and going. Plus, I get to pursue the track thing again, and really build that program up for them as well. So really looking forward to it. The first few days, as with, I'm sure, every school system, it's been crazy, but enjoyable at the same time. I'm so happy to see these kids' faces again, man. And just, I'm beyond blessed to just be continue working. I'm happy in any situation. So, God bless the good people at Letcher County Central, man, and especially God bless the people at Jenkins, whoever kind of welcomed me in.
You have brought a breath of fresh air to Jenkins, I think, because football is going to try to play again. The community has went out and remodeled the football field, baseball field. It's been a lot of people starting to step up now. I think that because you come in there and they saw that hey, we're serious about this. Let's give them some stuff they can play with.
Yeah, that
Redone
part,
your
that
floor,
part,
and your floor looks awesome. Floor looks awesome.
that part has been, and people don't know, man. They're like, we've got a new 4K screen in the gym. We got a new floor in the gym. We got new scoreboard on the football field. They're doing something every day, and it's not done. We're getting new bleachers added to the gym. We've got so much positive momentum. They just spent $2 million on the entryway and the hallway and remodeling the entire school and classroom. So everything it looks great. That we've got a ton of community backing. And I'm glad you touched on this, because I do want to say this out loud for everybody to know. We are making football happen. I know there's been a lot of back and forth. I've been on Bluegrass Rivals a little bit. There's been a little bit of back and forth about whether or not this program's going to happen. We kind of, like, this week hit a little snare in coaching, but now everything's great again. And I think we found a great guy to really take the reins of this football and really make it into something. Our numbers have been around 16 to 18. So this football is going to happen. So I've been getting a lot of questions about it, but it's going to happen. We've got tons of positive momentum in all athletics. Our volleyball numbers are up. The basketball numbers are great. Baseball numbers are going to be great. There's going to be good things happening this year as far as momentum at Jenkins.
I know that you didn't make your schedule, Jenkins, but you'll play the schedule you've handed to you. But does the future see you playing more of the 14th region team? Some of your buddies and stuff, because I know the old coach didn't really play a lot of those because he, but I know you want to play your buddy guys, the ones that you're friends with, because those are good. Those are games that you've been a part of.
Yeah, I actually ran into Coach Melton there last week from Leslie County, and me and him were talking. His little girl has he's got a girl that plays softball in a little 8U team, and the Hot Shots, and my little girl Addie plays on the Heartbreakers. We got a little 8U team over in Letcher County, and yeah. They actually beat us. I want them to come back. They actually beat us, man. We played awful. I need them to come back. But anyway, we actually talked about that very thing, because I told him I love to get up with Justin, and of course, I still, like you said, I love, once you get in the 14th Region Brotherhood of Coaching, man, you're in there for life. And so I do want to play a lot of the 14th teams. I will say right off, even though a lot of things are not officially posted to KHSAA yet, I guess I'm sharing this for the first time publicly, but Powell County, hopefully Owsley County, and my good buddy Bobby, who's the AD there, and then so Powell County and Buckhorn and Owsley, and then we're actually going to Bath after Christmas, and it includes Estill, and so we're working on it. We're working on it. I talked to Coach Farler at Cordia the other night. I'm actually full now, but
I know
but
the one thing. If you're playing Estill, is it going to be weird to go there and not see John? I mean,
oh my God!
When John left, I about cried, because I thought he would never leave Estill County. But
same.
Won't that be? God, that's going to be weird.
It'll be so weird. There was a lot of in the 14th, and I know me and you have talked about it. There's just been a whole lot of there's been a lot of changes. There's been a lot of changes
every day,
and a lot.
It was every time I turned around, somebody was being sent to the showers. Say, go, get out of here. You're done. We don't want you. Get out of here. I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, every time I turned around, somebody was getting released. Or I felt like an NFL program was going on. NFL had got part of somebody, because I mean, one day you're 5. I got football coaches in front of me, new coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16 new football coaches.
It's
and that's
crazy.
Not counting probably what was the 14th was everywhere you look, there's going to be a new leader on the bench because Buckhorn finally got their coach. And I'm sorry, I don't know too much about Jacob McCoy, and I apologize. I'll learn more about him as we go along. The Breathitt girls, I don't think is hired. I don't think they've hired their coach yet. If they have, I haven't heard. Jackson City just got their coach hired a couple weeks ago.
That's another 14th team we're playing too. It's crazy, and I can't help. And you may have, I don't know if you'll agree or disagree with this, but I got to think that I ultimately think this pandemic has really caused a whole lot of changes. Whether we really think about it or not, or whether we really want to admit it, or whether, whatever the case may be, I think a lot of the changes that we've seen really come back to the effects of this pandemic. Like I honestly thought the really confusing part for me about the whole Letcher County Central thing was like, we just came out of a pandemic. Like I was honestly like getting drilled with like, what am I doing to make sure our players are safe rather than really coaching our players to win a game almost. And so it was like a lot of that, like that's still a struggle for me is like, I don't know how you can be letting people go really in a pandemic year, but I don't know. Maybe I was just that bad. I don't know. But it's like,
you're not.
I think a lot of these changes.
You're one of the best coaches. Listen, you're one of the best coaches in the land. You're one of the best coaches around. I'd put you in any program in the Mountain State. Anybody, you can coach. You're that good.
You're biased. We're
I brought this up Friday. I brought this up early in the show. I went to watch Hazard and Pineville scrimmage.
Yeah.
You know what I walked away after the scrimmage? That everybody was having fun. It wasn't about running plays. How many people you had out there? It was fun again. They were having a great time. Yeah. And that's what I walked away with because no mask, no restrictions, having fun, hitting people, doing your job.
Like I do, just nothing about last year was fun. I mean, we had some moments, and I had some moments, and there were moments throughout the season of all the seasons that I coached last year that I had fun, but there was never a point where I really felt, always in the back of your mind the entire season or the entire school year was, am I making sure that my kids are safe? Have I done the health assessments today? Have I checked temperatures today? Where's my thermometer at? Like, is everybody wearing masks? Is everybody getting 6 feet, apart? Like, and so, no, yes, we had a little fun last year, but really, and then we had these times in that we paused play and you had quarantines. And at no point last year was there ever a time that I sat down and I thought about a game or a situation concerning an athletic team that COVID wasn't in my mind. So, and that probably, and that should have been the case, but it was just really unfortunate. And so I'm glad you said that. I haven't got to really go to a game of any kind yet, other than my little girl softball and us not having to worry about anything COVID related. But I am so excited for high school football.
Now, we look at all the sports in the fall. You look at volleyball. Volleyball almost safe for last. You got football outside. You got soccer outside. You got field hockey outside. You've got there's one more sport outside of cross country. Yep. The only sport that's indoors is volleyball.
Volleyball. Yep.
I haven't talked with any athletic directors. I won't get Mark on here, Mark Collett, and talk with him. But I do think volleyball may be, you can answer us maybe, they may have to wear a mask. No social distancing, just may have to wear a mask inside the gym. Do you know that for a fact? Or what's up with that? I don't know for a fact on the indoor, but I do know. Well,
You know, I know it's been, it's been different school to school. Like, you know, there's some schools where masks are obviously been mandated and you have to wear them indoors. So I would imagine even when they're indoors sitting on the bench, they would still need to wear a mask. But you know what really runs into a problem there is I don't know as far as athletics concerned, like, you know, a visiting team that's coming to Letcher Central. I don't know. Now I do know everybody, of course, mandated mask on the bus. And that's everybody universally here in Kentucky, I believe. But as far as like, I don't know. That's a great question. I'm not sure if there anything regulated or mandated at this time. I'm not sure.
I know
That's
the
a
other
good
night
question.
when I went to the scrimmage, there was some people wearing masks because they were just,
Yeah.
you know, been trying to be safe.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a good full house there, and I probably saw 20 masks out of the whole group. But it's an outdoor sport. You know, the Delta's not going to carry as much outside as it inside.
Right.
You know, I do think the volleyball will have to wear a mask starting off, but I think they will have to social distance, you know, spread the benches out. I do know that there's no attendance restriction as far as somebody can go now. You can go watch a sport. No, you don't have to, you know, I think masks will be the only thing that will be in the indoor sport, which is volleyball. So.
Right. No, I'm thinking no temperature checks, no, you know,
No, I don't think
not even that worried about the distancing, but yes, mask encouraged, I guess. And maybe even regulated in some point, maybe mandated in some places.
Because I know you said you guys were back in school. I know the kids have to wear a mask to class, but I don't think they are separate. I mean, they don't have the spacing like they had last year. There's just, you know, you sit behind your friend, but you have a mask on, right? Is that how it is?
Yeah. For the most part, and like I said, that's actually different school to school. Like our policy is different than Letcher Central's, and I would imagine it's different school to school. But yeah, for us, like no, the distancing is not mandated, and there's no temperature checking. Masks have to occur on the bus, and mask, of course, highly recommended indoors at all times. But other than that, you know, some of the other restrictions of the past are kind of let up. We're honestly though we're in a tough spot here in Letcher County right now. We're in the, you know, we were in the well into the red last week, and so I'm kind of hoping, which I really don't necessarily. I don't know. I hate to hope that this it's running its highest point in its course right now, and then going to fall back down the ladder. But we were in bad shape last week, and I'm hoping to see better numbers this week.
We all know the one thing that can bring those numbers down, and that's get your vaccination. I know a lot of people are for it, some are not. That's your prerogative. That's how you. You know, I made it, and I'm proud of it. I mean, I'm glad I did. You know, even if I was to get COVID, that's 1 out of 100 million that I got it. But at least I won't be in the hospital. I mean, I feel so sorry for these people that's in the hospital. Can't breathe. Can't move. Can't. I mean, I cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it hurts me to see that.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there. I've been on a ventilator. I died twice. You know, people. I mean, you know, I know. I just don't like to see it, and I want to see everybody be healthy.
Yeah,
I care about everybody. You know, it's always been my goal. I mean, I can't stand this. Every time we turn around, there's. I mean, if there was
somebody in the hospital, or
you know, I mean, I care about everybody. I mean, I don't want to see nobody sick. You know, I mean, I've been there. I know their feeling. I know their pain. I mean, you know, it's rough. It's rough. You know, you gotta survive. You gotta get through it, and it takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of time. With me, Winston Lee. He finally made it tonight. He had an internet problem. He finally learned the solution, though. Unplug the internet. That always will work when it's time to try to find out what the problem is. Winston was post-study commissioner with us. He probably got busy. We'll try to grab him later down the road. I know the first show was probably a little hard for him to get him. We're going to have Camille on here in just a little bit. Tell me the difference that you learned so far from being at Letcher to now being at Jenkins.
I think honestly the biggest thing, and I've had a lot of people mention the fact that this smaller setting may be a good change, for me, and so far I really feel that I feel I'm not teaching a class of 25, 30 kids. Most of my classes are smaller classes of somewhere between 15 and 20, even though we have had a huge influx of enrollment this week, seems like, but because everybody's ready to get back to school. But I would say it's a much more, I want to be careful about the word I use. It's a more laid back atmosphere. It's a more laid back atmosphere. And not that I've coached with people or talked with people before that wasn't willing to kind of work together. But so far, just people have been so great about sharing the gym and helping me with the classroom, and I've had all those things before, but at Jenkins, it's just been a special feeling of like how, a lot of people just willing to help each other. And so that's been the most refreshing part about it. And there were a lot of people at Letcher County Central like that too, but just, it's a much smaller school. So it's more family atmosphere. And so I've really flourished in that, and I've really enjoyed that so far in the first couple weeks. We just started school on Wednesday, and through the first 3 days, man, I've got no complaints. I'll tell you what really happened is I was really struggling with this decision in April. Well, I guess it was May. It was actually, I think, June, first week of June before I made this jump, and I was really struggling through May, like mentally, spiritually, just really struggling. And I had a former coach. Her name is Sally Hubbard. She coaches track and cross, really old school, coached at Pound, coached at Letcher Central, coached at Whitesburg. She's been amazing, the things that she's been able to do in track and cross country. But she is like a saint. She's the closest woman to God that I about know. And she told me, she said, I want you to know that I've prayed about this, and there are kids at Jenkins that need you. And from that point on, I ain't had no questions. I've been in like full steam, 2 feet in the door, like I'm ready. And so ever since then, man, it's just been it's been easy. I would say the biggest difference is just small. It's smaller, and that makes for a more laid back family atmosphere. So that's, and it's refreshing. So that part's been good.
Our good buddy Manus is now the new athletic director at Letcher. I want to get your thoughts on that. I know he deserved that. I think Manus is more in touch with what they need on the athletic side than what they got him for, because they're going to get. I think they're getting a special person here.
Listen, I cannot. I could take up what we got. 50 minutes left, 45 minutes left. I could take the whole 45 minutes and talk about Manus Blair. Like he is he's one of my heroes, and he is just they wasn't going to find anybody else that's more invested in Letcher County Central Athletics or Letcher County in general than Manus Blair. He's just he's smart, he's coached, he's taught, and he knows he was, he did the radio last year. Like, he's constantly been around Letcher County athletics as far as I know, like 30 years, right? So probably longer than that. So I'm so happy for him. And honestly, me and him are friends. We got a great relationship. He texted me immediately, actually before he even got the job, and said, I'm applying for this. And then as soon as he got it, he texted me and said, I got this. He said, I want you to know I'm going to put my heart into it. And he said, let's work together. Like, I want to help Jenkins and you help us, and let's work together. And we have. I've been helping him out with cross country some, and we're just shooting ideas back and forth. And from what I understand, like from other coaches there that I'm good friends with, he has been just super invested and involved in every decision that's happened thus far concerning the athletics there. And so, man, they got a winner. I wish it almost hurts me, right? Because I leave and but now me and Coach Melton too, Michael Melton, had a great relationship. And so I hope that those great relationships between coaches and the AD continue, and I know they will with Manus.
Of course, people didn't know Mike Melton went to Bath County. In the 16th
wish
region.
Him the best. Wish him the best.
Yeah, wish him the best. But he's still going to referee in the 14th region. That's what I've been told. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I understand he's still going to officiate in the 14th.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe that he wouldn't still ref in the 14th, because he just got so much invested, with the 14th, and the coaches love him, and he's obviously, one of, if not the best official in the 14th, and that's clear every year. He gets the big games and deserves them, and he's one of the most professional guys that I've ever been around. He's taught me a whole lot. And me and him's talked a lot. Mine and his relationship has probably even gotten better since this awful word he had to give me in April. It's like mine and him our relationship is so good, and I wish him the absolute best. Bath County got a good one. And I can't wait. I'm obviously I'll still be over in the 14th watching games, hopefully. So I can't wait to see him on the hardwood too.
Bath County in football is in the same district as Breathitt, Leslie, Middlesboro. They're in the district over with the Shelby Valley, West Carter, East Ridge, Bath County. Can't remember the other team. There's Prestonsburg, and there's 7 teams in that district. So Bath County got them a good one.
I
think it's 7.
That. So who?
Shelby Valley, West Carter, Prestonsburg, Bath, East Ridge. There's 16. I can't remember West Carter. Yeah.
Wow.
6.
What a district.
But you look at that district's always. When realignment, actually, when they first realigned, Estill County, East Ridge wasn't going to be in there. East Ridge was going to be in the district with Breathitt and them. But then they thought geographically they'd be better over Shelby Valley. So
who now? We've got that. I guess that district better than anybody, especially me. So how's Leslie stack up in their district this year? And how's Shelby? Tell me about. Do you know anything about Shelby Valley? I know that's who Letcher County Central has first week.
Shelby Valley's people wasn't real high on them in 7-on-7 this summer. They've got a quarterback. It's really good arm. He can throw it. He did not have a good 7-on-7. Shelby Valley struggled, but you put their running game along with them, and it's a whole different story. Yeah. West Carter's going to be down a little bit. They've been the strong team over the last 3 years. I think they're probably still the better team over. Shelby Valley will beat you on a given night if you don't play. I think the most improved team over there is going to be Prestonsburg. I think the Black Cats are going to be a lot better this year.
I saw they had some good momentum going on. Saw they had Midnight Madness. I saw. Well,
this is Coach this is Coach Brewer's third year, so he's looking for big things to happen. It's hard to do a whole lot when football has that RPI, which is the most. I hate it. I hate the RPI because it messes up. I don't like playing for your district championship in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I liked it the old way when we played for the district title in the regular season. But I mean, you got that RPI, and I know rumors are that may not be a part of the next realignment. They may get rid of that and go back to old school. I hope so. I hope we do. I mean, because that realignment, that our RPI, we talked about this in basketball. Why have you got an RPI in basketball if you're never going to use it? I mean, all it did was hype up some teams that played the schedule and they wasn't that good and they got beat, sit home, and that RPI was because of that. So I've never been a fan of the RPI. Everything that's happened in the KHSAA, I've been a big fan of, except the RPI.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people don't like the RPI. We should have
Julian on here. I mean, maybe Julian knew what was coming tonight. He did. Julian knew what was coming. No, I wouldn't. I ain't going to talk to CJ.
No, he understands. I actually think I asked him. I didn't ask him the RPI because he's had 100,000 questions about that RPI. I mean, he can only tell you what he knows, and but I bet if you really sit down, he can probably tell you that. It's hard to understand the RPI because if your schedule wins and losses and this you played better, Mr. Tackett's a great guy. Our interview we had last year was awesome, and that's why I want him back because I know that he's got some big ideas for the upcoming future for the KHSAA. He wants to take them to a big time. So I was going to talk to him about that. I want to talk about how it was a win-win last year and what the future is going to hold for the KHSAA. Because, I talked about this for just a moment ago. Likeness and image. Could that ever get into high school sports? And if it does, what are you going to do about it? Because what if Joe Jacks goes to a car dealership and they give him some money and they never found out about it, but then here comes that image and likeness. They in high school. Hey, they give me money. Hey, I didn't do nothing. I didn't miss eligibility up. So, what's your thoughts on that, college? Do you like it?
Yeah, so I've thought about this, and I know a lot of people are upset about those recent events with the quarterback, and you could tell me where he's from. The kid that he was committed to Ohio State, and he forewent his senior year to go ahead and go to Ohio State so he can go ahead and start making money. And I know everybody. What state was he from?
He was from Georgia.
Yeah. So the thing, and I know everybody's just jumping off the train now and being like, "Oh no, like it's bad," and "Oh no, what do we? Are they going to have to do this for high school?" Well, the problem with high school, right, is that if you did NIL in high school, then you will immediately have the larger schools or the schools with more resources now, or the more popular schools in larger urban areas where there are more businesses and more opportunity for NIL opportunity. You would see all those kids start flooding those schools and leaving their small rural schools or their home districts or their home, schools. And we all know, and this is one thing that I love to talk to Julian about, is like, we all know that the whole transfers thing has really been a mess. Honestly, and there's no other way to put it. It's just it's been a mess. I mean, Joey goes from one school to the other, and he can get immediately eligible, and then, you know, Joe too goes to school and he does it legitimately, and he can't get eligible for the whole year. You know, and so and that's maybe nobody's fault or somebody else's fault than the KHSAA, but we all know that follow high school sports on a regular basis, see it happen every day. And so as far as NIL in high school, I don't think it can happen. It shouldn't happen. If NIL in college means that you're going to lose your premier athletes, that's just what's going to happen, and we all got to live with it. And I don't blame the kids that do it, but you got to imagine that's going to be – it's kind of like the one and dones, or these kids that are now skipping college to go ahead and play in the G League or play overseas and come back for that 19 age rule in the NBA. Like, it's just going to happen. We're going to have to just take the high school kids we get and work with it, because if we ever opened up the Pandora's box to NIL in high school, I'm telling you, it's going to be a mess. So because you're just going to have all these athletics, and we're barely hanging on as is. You think about travel ball, AAU, you know, club teams, all these. Our high school athletics are probably in a whole lot more danger than what anybody realizes right now, down 10 years from now. And so
prep schools,
we open up the NIL,
you would see this more. Prep schools, you would see this more than you would regular schools.
Yes,
do you
absolutely.
Agree?
Yep, absolutely. You would have all of our quality kids. You think about your highest quality mountain football kids or mountain high school kids. You know, you think about those top tier kids, and they start leaving. You know, they leave, and they'll leave their home districts, and they'll leave, and you can't blame them, because they would have the opportunity to make resources for their family and make money for their family. So, I just don't think you can open up that box. And I think that needs to go ahead and come down. You know, that's obviously would have to be a federal thing. You know, even though, even if you had one state being like, "Oh, yay, NIL for high school kids here," it would be like bloody Kansas, and kids would come running from all over the place and start playing in that state. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with the NIL and college athletics. I'm totally cool with it.
If they do it right.
Because
if they do it right.
If they do it right, because you probably had, you know, our larger universities were already presenting opportunities for kids to make money. They were doing it in a way that was, you know, like the University of Kentucky has ways that kids made money before NIL that was legal. You know, they work these camps during the summer. They get paid for it. They making some money. But now the NIL, they ain't even got to worry about all that. You know, it's kind of it's kind of relief and like monkey off the back for most of those college and universities, especially the top tiers. So, I mean, I'm fine with it in the college. Like you said, they're doing it the right way. I'm fine with it. I like it. But high school, it can't happen.
Give me just a quick thought about Coach Holland retiring. I know nobody saw that. If he was not to come back, is he a Hall of Famer? I think he is.
I don't know. When does the voting happen for Hall of Fame?
I think it's 2 years after you retired permanently.
Well, listen, at the midnight hour 2 years from now, when he is eligible for the Hall of Fame, the man should automatically be sent the notification letter and have, you know, his plaque in the mail. And I mean, I'm talking like 12:01 midnight, the day that the Hall of Fame is able to induct him. They better just go ahead and call him and say, "Welcome to the club," because he's the best. He's motivated kids. He's won. I mean, he's won crazy amount of championships at multiple schools. He's won over 500. How many games? He's won over 500 games. You know, he
won over 500 middle fives.
Yeah, middle fives. And so it's just like he's won everywhere he's been. I've never seen kids play as hard for somebody as they do for a Big Al. And it's like he's just a shoe-in. It's a no-brainer. If Al Holland isn't a Hall of Fame coach, then there are no Hall of Fame coaches. And I personally, I will say this. I personally think that I think he will come back. I think this is like too late in the year for Hazard to really be like, not trying to hire a coach. So I think he ultimately comes back. Hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Winston has disappeared again. Let me get him back in here. There we go. Now, Winston, we got you back.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Winston's in and out. Now we can hear you now. Camille, we can hear you. Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
This is Camille's with us. She's joined us. We're doing good. We're talking about Al Holland, Hall of Fame. If he was not to come back and coach, I know there's some thoughts on that, but me and Winston definitely believe he's a Hall of Famer for the whatever comes eligible he could be in. But you have been a busy person.
Yes, I have. Always.
Yes. What little bit I talked to you the other day, I'm gonna make you break it down because it has a two-parter. Compare last year to now, and tell me which one's been more. I know last year you couldn't do a preview, you couldn't get the people. Now you got to everybody, and everybody loved to see you coming because they missed all those great stuff like that, pigskin previews, stuff like that. But tell me the difference and how it made you feel after doing this.
Well, we did a show. I think we did a pigskin preview show last year. I'm pretty sure, but it was so different because obviously you had to wear a mask and teams had to start and stop, so that was awful, and they couldn't hang out, which was awful. So this year, it's been a lot better. Everyone feels better about it. I'm still worried about the season just with Delta. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's gonna, go as well as last year did, but I guess we'll see. But it's been so great, actually being at practices this year and watching scrimmages because obviously, last year that just wasn't a thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. I just hope that it actually, fingers crossed, happens this year. So I guess we'll see.
I told Winston and I told Dan both that Friday night when I left the Hazard Pineville scrimmage, I didn't leave. I left with a lasting impression. These kids were having fun again. It was fun for them. Last year, there was nothing fun about last year.
Yep, and that's what a lot of people said.
They were having a blast. Tickled to death. Gravity time.
Yeah, that's what I think. All the kids that I've talked to.
I don't know what scrimmage you watched.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what I've been to. I watched Leslie and Perry's. But that was the beginning of 7-on-7. I think that was the first 7. Yeah, but yeah, I think all the kids have said they're actually having fun, and I know a lot of teams has said to me we're already closer than we were last year because last year with all the restrictions, we couldn't do team dinners, we couldn't hang out, it was just awful. So I think that'll help a lot of teams too. Even Pikeville, I was talking to Landon Hammock last week, and he kind of said to me, he was honestly, Camille, with COVID last year, we had some issues on the team. People were maybe not physically fighting, but verbally fighting because it was just stressful. Everyone was stressed out about school on top of, athletics and everything else. And it's just it just made tension so high. And he was this year, there's just none of that. And it's just so nice. And we actually feel we are that brotherhood again that we were 2 years ago. So I'm like, that's really good to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and CJ
Yeah, I
talked
mean,
about that, and
Yeah,
it
you
was,
know, that's what I left
it
with.
was
Wiston,
impossible
jump in
as a
here.
coach. No,
I
well, it
can't
was just
imagine.
as a coach, it was just impossible, right? I mean, you were just anxious 24/7 about COVID.
Mhm.
Like at no point was my primary concern. I mean, obviously your primary concern is always the health and safety of your kids, but it was just a whole nother level of anxiety, and stress, trying to be worried about. Yeah, so we didn't get to work on like camaraderie. We didn't get to work on, like you mentioned, like, you didn't get to have a team meal. We had to stay 6 feet apart. Like there wasn't a team meal. There wasn't a team trip. There wasn't any of those things that we typically get to enjoy. And then even if you did get that opportunity, a lot of times, the times that you did get, it was usually paused, in some way. So it was extremely frustrating as a coach. I almost couldn't even imagine too as a player. So yeah, that's a good point. Is just the anxiety of it. It's nice just to not have as much anxiety
Mhm.
or stress. Yeah.
I totally agree.
I know the 18th is going to be your preview. I know that's still a week and a half away.
Yeah. Whew. I'm about
Talk
to
about some teams that you previewed. Talk about some teams that you previewed that are going to be surprise teams. I don't want teams that we know about. I want some teams that we don't know anything about that could be a shocker or be a surprise.
I'm trying to think. So, I mean, I think Hazard could do well this year. Shelby Valley, obviously, with Russ Osborne, he's great. Harlan County, I'm going to be kind of interested to see what goes on there. Apparently, Amos McCreary, their new head coach, is like a big deal. I haven't met him yet, but that's just what I've heard. I think I don't remember exactly, but he apparently has, I think, won state before somewhere else. I think Letcher is going to be really good this year. I love Junior Matthews. He's a great coach. And I mean, they did really well last year. So I think they'll do well again. I don't know how many seniors they lost, though. See, what we do is the teams that didn't make the top 10, we do them like right before the show, which is basically like outside of our top 10, the teams that we kind of talked about. And that's all the teams that we're doing this week. So I haven't even seen some of them because, I didn't get to go. Like with Willie being gone now, like I'm the head girl in charge. So for the moment, so I have to do every show. So I'm not used to that. I'm so used to going to Johnson Central and Pikeville and Corbin and everywhere in between every day. And now I'm like stuck in the office. So it's like kind of weird for me because I don't get to go out and hang out with coaches and players, which is what I really like to do. But yeah, we'll see. I am going to Corbin tomorrow and Johnson Central, which I'm really excited about. So that'll be fun. But you get to see Travion and Dakota Patterson.
See two of the. Personally, I think they're the two best teams in the mountains, regardless of class. I think they're the two best teams. Especially Corbin. Corbin's loaded. Corbin's got so much talent that they could have two teams and win. That's how good Coach Greer's got.
Mm-hmm. He's just got they're stacked. I mean, I think Pikeville's going to be incredible too, though, because I was talking to them. They've got 17 seniors at a 1A school. That's like half your school. 17 kids in a 1A. I mean, it's huge.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, and they've played together.
How do they do that? How do you even do that?
And McNamee told me they've all played together since like middle school. And I'm just like, that's insane. 17. That's got to be their entire senior class for boys. Like, so Pikeville is going to be great. I'm serious. Like, that's so many kids. Like, I go to so many schools that are like, oh, how many, like Whitley County. I'm like, how many seniors do you have? 5A school. He's like 6. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like 17, I think, is the biggest class out of any school that I've been to this year. I think 17 is the biggest one because Belfry's got 4. Like all these schools don't have a lot this year. It's kind of weird.
And one of those is a senior hold off from the rule that they passed.
He's a holdback.
Because actually one of them graduate, come back.
Yeah.
The running back,
Isaac.
right?
Yeah.
So
maybe that's why
technically they had 3 seniors
than usual, right?
No, because I don't think any of their. Oh no, Mac told me last year they had 4 seniors and 1 stayed back.
Wow.
So,
well, and you did say they had
16
played together
huge.
since middle school, so yeah.
Yeah, 16
that's
is
huge.
huge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
well, Winston, how many seniors do you have at Jenkins total boys? I bet you don't have one.
The total, yeah. So
uh,
I bet the total senior class at Jenkins is, well, I know the enrollment from 6 to 12 right now was 270 as of Friday. So, average that out amongst 6 grades, whatever that comes to. I'm not too good at math. So yeah, probably 40 maybe, probably 30 seniors total, 35, 40 seniors total.
Half boys,
Jenkins.
half girls.
Half boys, half girls. Yeah.
Half boys, half girls.
Essentially, Pikeville's football team seniors are probably have more senior boys on their football team than we have seniors at the house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And they're single A too. That's the thing. It's like it wouldn't be a huge deal. Like it would make sense if we were talking about like Johnson Central or Letcher Central, one of the bigger schools. But it just like for a single A school, it almost don't even make sense. Every senior kid there is playing football.
That's what I'm saying. It's insane. But they'll be really good this year.
She mentioned a moment ago that there was 6 seniors, 5 seniors. She was a man. Well, am I not correct? Didn't Johnson Central have 24 seniors last year?
It was something crazy.
They had a whole bunch.
But I don't even know though, because I'm going to go talk to Matney tomorrow and do his. So I'll figure out how many seniors they have. But I can't keep up. I really can't. All these teams, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Some days, it's in one ear, out the other.
Yeah. I was going to say, I would imagine at some point for you, like names and teams start to run together a little bit.
In the beginning, it did really badly just because, like, I'm not from here and, like, moving here. It was, like, learning them. Like, I always tell this story. In the beginning, Willie needed me to go to Williamsburg for a signing. I don't remember what sport it was. And I was like, okay, cool.
I love this story.
I always got Williamsburg and Middlesboro confused. Always. And I show up to Middlesbrough.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, hey. I go inside. I'm like, hey, I'm here for a signing. And they're like, for who? I'm like, oh, I don't know the kid's name. My boss just told me to come here. And they're like, yeah, we don't have a signing today. And so I call him. And I'm like, Willie, they said they didn't have a signing today. Like, what's going on? And he was like, well, you're at Williamsburg, right? And I was like, oh, my God, I'm at Middlesboro. So in the beginning, it was a little touch and go. But now, honestly, like, I think with kids, it's easy. Like, I don't ever get them confused because, like, I know them. Like, coaches, I know them. Now the teams, I know them. Like, I almost actually during state this year for Paintsville, I almost called them the Panthers. I was like the Paintsville Tigers. I was like, oh my God, Paintsville's gonna shoot me if I call them the Panthers. Like they're gonna have my head on a wall.
That's not too bad though. I mean, it's still a cat, right? And
yeah.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
It's so funny. So it's funny that I bring up the Williamsburg and Middlesboro story. Last week, Courtney was going to Pulaski County to do Somerset, Southwestern, and Pulaski County. So she was doing all 3. And I track her on Find My Friends. And so I look and I'm like, oh, I wonder if she's at practice yet. And I look and she's on I-75 going towards Corbin. And I call her and I'm like, hey, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going to Southwestern. And I'm like, dude, no, you're not. That's not the way you go to Southwestern.
You're not going to Southwestern.
Yeah, she'd put in Southwestern High School in Google Maps, and it told her that there was one in Williamsburg. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so we got it straightened out, thank God. But yeah, I was like, I've never even heard of Southwestern High School in Williamsburg. But yeah, so stuff like that totally happened, but it's like, you know, you just gotta laugh it off. Like, it happens. It's funny. But it's gonna be crazy this year because, you know.
My next question.
Oh, go ahead, CJ.
My next question is going to be a little wild. The amount of new coaches in football. I don't even know how you be able to keep up with the new people.
I know.
I told Wiston a moment ago, 17 new coaches in the mountains.
I didn't realize it was that many.
That's crazy in football. I mean,
well, when you say mountains,
I got a list of them here.
Okay.
Well, I count Danville because Somerset's in that district with LCA.
Okay.
So Danville had a new coach. I count them. You know, everybody else is legit. I mean, look here. Let's look at them. You got Paintsville, Betsy Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Jenkins, which they're not playing district, but they got a new coach.
Well, they have another new coach too.
Camp.
Yeah, we have another new coach.
Yeah, Dwayne resigned as of Friday.
Where at?
Well,
he actually resigned like Monday.
Oh, was it Monday?
Yeah, it was like Monday or Tuesday, but we were just fortunate enough, like 24-hour turnaround, found a replacement within like a 24-hour period. It was crazy. And then I think it's going to end up actually being, I think it's going to end up being better. I mean, our numbers actually went up like crazy, like spiked on Thursday, Friday. So I think it's going to end up being a good thing.
Well, that's good.
But anyway, that's one. That's
we have been
two.
fighting a mountain trying to go to Jenkins football practice because, like, well, are we going to play? Are we not? Are we going to play? Are we not? Like, oh my gosh. Like, y'all, the season's 2 weeks away. We need to know if you're playing or not.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Jenkins.
There you go. As far as I know, they're going to play.
Yeah, and same. We finally got the verdict on Friday that they're at least going to try. So I guess, CJ, you could really count 18 because Jenkins has had 2 head coaches, technically. But continue.
Yeah, 2 head coaches. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one new coach that I'm interested in is because it's South Laurel's coach, Donnie
Burdine.
I've got it right here. Where's it at?
Burdine.
Yeah, Burdine. You know, he leaves. His son goes with him. They go to East Ridge. Mm-hmm. He's a heck of a quarterback. I know you ain't done. I don't know if you've done their preview or not, but what have you thought about them? Because they may be pretty decent now.
I have not done it. I think it airs tonight, actually, or tomorrow. Theirs is like either today or tomorrow. John went up there. I know nothing about East Ridge, I'm going to be really honest. But what I do know is Donnie Burdine. I freaking love him. I think he's a great football coach. So it would not surprise me. He's fantastic. I really like him.
They're going to be pretty, because his son's a heck of a quarterback.
See, I didn't even know his son
heck of an arm. I mean,
I knew he played, but I didn't know what position.
Yeah. Quarterback.
Well, I mean,
he's
basketball,
really good too.
they were really successful this year. So if their basketball kids play football, they might have a chance.
Yeah. I mean, they need some of those basketball kids. They got some studs on the hardwood. They need some of those kids to hit the grass.
They came out of nowhere. I was like, East Ridge is good. What happened? Like, me and Willie were like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, had no idea.
They can play.
Yeah.
They can play.
What?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
the
him.
big.
It was
big kid in
crazy.
the middle looks like he's.
It was
made to play
crazy when
football.
you would text me. Yeah. It was crazy when Camille texted me Eastridge upset somebody in the tournament, and I went, no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that ain't
know.
happening.
I know.
No. And I
Yep.
went,
I watched them beat Shelby
That's
Valley
crazy.
for the district championship, and I was just like, the whole time my mouth was just like wide open. But it's so fun. Like, I love watching teams that haven't won a district title or a region title in like 15 years win one. Like,
yeah.
it is like such a great feeling. Like, it's so much fun to watch that. But anyways, continue on your coaching search.
Well, the other ones we had was Danville, because I used them. Eastridge, let's see here, Pike Central. I don't know what happened there at Pike Central. So didn't their coach? He was coaching football, then he went coach basketball, didn't he?
Yep. And now their offensive
Jenkins,
coordinator is
two
the
of them.
head coach. Mm-hmm.
The one that surprised me the most was Knox Central. I thought Coach Hoskins would be there a long time. But now Travis McDaniels just took over for them.
Right. So Hoskins is the principal of the middle school now. So that was part of it. He just told me he couldn't handle it, but he's still going to coach, which is good. Just not head coach, because I really like him.
Wayne County has a new coach. Let's see, Harlan County, and that's everybody, I think. Whitley County and South Laurel. Jed Irwin, he's an interesting character. I like Jed a lot. I think he'll do very well at South. He is actually from Laurel County, I think.
Yeah, he is. Pineville and Lynn Camp.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two more.
Yes, Pineville and Lynn Camp. Yep. So, I mean, it's hard to keep up with who's where. I mean,
I know.
You're going to hope that when you answer the phone that you get the right name.
I know.
Because you would hate to pick the phone up and that not be the right person you're asking for. They're like, they were dismissed a long time ago. They're not here no longer.
I know. Because when
basketball is even more crazier. I haven't even got the basketball yet.
Oh, I'm sure that's like 40 something. It's got to be. Yeah. We didn't even know that Debbie Green was the head coach at Pineville till like 3 weeks later, because there were so many coaching changes. She posted that Blair was doing a camp. I swear to God. And I texted her and I said, hey, did you take the job at Pineville? And she was like, yeah, I did a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. And she was like, no, it's fine. But like, there were so many. We missed it. Like, we didn't even see it. It was funny.
Trust me. There's some people in Pineville that only know Debbie Green's their coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Last night I was hearing people over talking in the stands. They said, oh, Debbie Green's our new girls coach? I didn't know that. So they don't even know that she's coaching.
Well, yeah, they must have not done any press.
I like to listen to other people's.
I was going to say, what's happened is they didn't put it out on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's where I see about half of them is coaches post. That's how we knew Winston was leaving, because he posted on Facebook and Willie sent it to me. Yeah, that's always how we know is Facebook, or unless they tell us directly.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a
tool of
it's hard to,
social media.
And Winston brought this up. COVID had a lot to do with that, because these coaches just couldn't handle it. I mean, I'm being serious. It's hard. Mm-hmm. It was hard for you. The coach was even difficult, but for the fans, it was hard. But for the coaches, it was impossible. It was impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Coach Larry Sparks, who's one of the best coaches in this world. He had to worry more about temperature check and spacing than trying to work on basketball plays. Yep. And all the coaches had that problem. I felt sorry for everybody, because these poor coaches, we got to take 10 minutes for temperature check and a blood pressure and make sure that everybody's not sick. So, I mean, you had very little time to practice. Spent more time on health and safety than probably practice. Wiston can answer that one because he's been a coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just the formalities, right? Is like sanitize the balls, fill out the health assessment, check the temperature, stay 6 feet apart, and the list. And honestly, throughout the year, the list just got longer and longer. And are we going to pre-sale tickets tonight, or are we going to sell them at the door? How many are we going to sell? Like, how many safe in here? Are the cheerleaders coming tonight? Because that number counts toward our crowd. Like, I mean, you had to be like a health official and a mathematician, and the last thing you were was a coach, and so it was really frustrating.
You know what? Some of these teams had special people on their staff just to do the other odd stuff that the coach could focus on coaching. We saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, people that probably wasn't a coach was doing ticket sales or doing the temperature checks, or while some of the coaches could actually coach. So
Yep.
I mean, and those people deserve a round of applause, because to give their time and to do that, I mean, that's special.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It was
I
just
agree.
awful.
I mean,
Like
it's crazy.
I hated it. It was just awful. And like I remember, like here's an example too. Like whenever Somerset won state, obviously that was before COVID. But by the time they were able to have a ring ceremony, it was like peak COVID, like June or July, something like that. And I went, and because coach said I was cool to go, whatever. I was like, just tell me if you don't want me to shoot anything, like whatever. And he told me, I posted on Facebook, obviously, like ran it. Someone literally called Julian Tackett about it and was like, Somerset's having this when they shouldn't be, like blah, blah. Like literally ratted them out over the story that we did. And whenever Robbie told me, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, if I had known that this was going to cause you issues, like I never would have come. And he was like, no, Camille, like it's not your fault. He was like, people are just jealous. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's totally what it is. But like, how dare you, whoever that person was, on top of everything else that they're currently having to go through, like try to throw them under the bus. Like, did you really think that they were going to take away the rings if you did that? Like, that's so awful. Ugh, that really bothered me.
Yeah, like what was your end game to that? Like why are you even worried about it, right?
Yeah. So it's just stuff like that where it's like people just like made it worse too.
I would say their team didn't win, so that's why they did it. They were just petty.
Exactly.
They were being petty. So
yep. Salty.
Well, Miss Camille, I'm gonna let you go. I know you need some sleep. You'll be back with us next week, right?
Yep. Say a prayer for me this week. It's about to be a long week.
Yeah,
yes.
You're going to be doing your
good luck out there.
A lot of your top 10, so you'll be in our prayers.
Thank you.
You be safe. That's what I worry about. Traffic and you go enjoy your coaches. I know you get to see some of your favorites now, so
I'm excited.
But as we we'll come back next Sunday and we'll do it again.
All right, sounds good. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
See you.
All right, thanks, Camille. All right, she's awesome. She's
that
put
was
in
great.
a lot of time.
No, great.
She's doesn't realize how hard this has been for her. Let me go ahead and give some final thoughts, and I'm gonna let Wiston give. Yeah. First of all, I want to thank everybody that watched. I want to thank everybody that called. I want to thank everybody that was part of the show tonight, comments or anything. I want to thank Coach Whitman. I'm going to bring him back. I promise I will, and I'll help him get on here where we can hear him. Coach Howard, he was in the pool. Next time I need him out of the pool. And then Mr. Tackett didn't make it, so we'll hopefully get him down the road as well. Winston did finally make it. I'm glad he did. Do want to remind everybody, please go to my YouTube channel. and go push that subscribe button. Get me 1,000 subscribers because I would love to do a lot more live stuff over there. So if you help me out there, that'll be fun. Be back with you next Wednesday night or next Sunday night. No, not Wednesday, Sunday night, August 16th, 8 o'clock. Winston, I'm going to ask you right now, would you want to come back next week? Would you want to come back?
Yes,
Since
I would
you
love
got,
to, and hope. Yes.
Internet problems? So I'll go ahead and pencil
Yes,
you
I
in for
would
next
love
week to be our
It would
co-host
be my
again.
honor, CJ.
Okay. So we're going to pencil you in. So where I got, I'm going to try to work on getting Coach Dixon, Coach Melton, and Coach Howard for sure, and maybe one other coach. So we're going to try to have a lot of football coaches on here next week because we'll be a week away from the start. So, but I won't bring you back because I think that would be good for you next week. And we'll I already got that out of the way. Just got to get my guest. I'm gonna let Wiston go ahead and give his final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here.
Appreciate you
Go
having
ahead,
me
Wiston,
on
give your final
the
thoughts.
show tonight, CJ. I hate my internet was messed up for a portion of the night. I really like. I'm going to end with what you touched on earlier. Is I'm so happy, and I do share a little bit of worry with this Delta variant, but I'm so happy to hear that you went to the game on Friday night and watched this scrimmage and noticed the smile on kids' faces and people laughing in the stands and having fun, enjoying high school athletics once again. And I hope and pray with everything in me that is something that we can continue on throughout the course of this year. And so I just want to play on that. And I want everybody to remember that that's what it's all about, right? It's not necessarily about the win or loss in the column, but it is about just letting these kids experience high school athletics and let it teach them about life. And hopefully it's something that this year they can get more out of it than ever. And I pray that happens. I think we should all continue to just pray and hope and send good vibes toward our KHSAA high school athletics and hope that this year is somewhat normal and gives our kids some normalcy. And so I'll end with that. And I appreciate you having me on the show. And I'm already looking forward to next week, CJ.
Yep, I'll be glad I'm always glad to have you on, Winston. You're a good guest and you're a good man. And I just want to remind people, you got your dandy person in Jenkins. I think he's going to do a lot of good things for you guys. As I always ended the show last year, and I'm going to end it this year. With my most famous saying, this is CJ Howard running third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. Me and Winston will be with you next Sunday night. Be back with you for episode 2 of the CJ Howard Show. Winston, don't leave after we get off the air. Stay there. Good night, everybody.